Hi, welcome back to AlexologysMadhouse, where I've got the second of the memorable replays we've got from last night, where we were playing Tier 10 for the first time in skirmishes. And, well, you just couldn't ask for a worse matchup than what we received. This was the last game of the evening, because literally by the end of this we were all so exhausted. We just couldn't continue. So let's look at the situation. Well, it's the Arctic map, and we are up against one of the very top clans in World of Tanks, in the top 20 of clans. So you just couldn't ask for a worse team. We had just played them, and they had absolutely destroyed us, wiped the floor with us. But they seemed like a really nice bunch of guys, and they weren't assholes about just slaughtering us last time. Perhaps that had something to do with how we managed to play this one. We definitely learned a lot from that first experience. So what's the situation? Well, they've got a medium team with a Conqueror gun carriage. One of them is a tier 9 medium, which I actually hadn't realized until I started to make this video. Whereas we've gone for a more standard setup with heavies, mediums, 2 TDs, and an artillery. Again, stymied by the fact that we don't have all of the tanks available that we'd like to have. Would I like to have more mediums? Possibly. I probably wouldn't take the Centurion Action X. Certainly wouldn't take the FV 455, 4005 again, as we found it just can't do the damage. But it certainly can do the damage. It just can't do it consistently enough. So we realized that they were going to rush us hard and fast, and so the only way to deal with this team was to try to force them into a brawl. So I set the tanks up accordingly. We put heavy tanks here into the G3 area in order to try to create a block from the north, medium tanks on the central ridge to spot a wide swath of the map, some heavy tanks at the back, TDs at the rockier artillery, of course, where it is being pinged. And the idea was to block the north approach, the central approach, and the south approach, and to then be able to react depending on what moves that they made. So let's see how it panned out. So once the battle started, we tried to get ourselves into the assigned positions. Again, a little bit of confusion where to put the less tactically viable tank, the FE, the autoloader tank as well. I mean, it's just difficult to keep those tanks in play when you've got so many knife fighters coming towards you. I mean, those things are just massive sledgehammers, and in this kind of fight, it's going to be a big problem. So the tanks split up pretty well. Two T110E5s a little bit further out than I really wanted, but it all worked out for the best. I did notice that Ohika here was in the wrong position, so I called him back. He was too far forward and was very very much exposed there. Burning on the hill in the Senti Action X said that he was spotted, and so we realized that this was already about to kick off. And now we were just waiting to see what they did, and then we were going to react accordingly. So, first tank spotted. Sev's view there on the right in the 261, and we've got a Bat Chat who takes quite a few hits on the mediums. I can't get any shots. He aims in to try to get this guy as he retreats. Very, very nice pre-aiming, and gets his shot away. And some good splash damage. Of course, it would have been easier if he destroyed him, but that's about the best you can hope for in those kind of situations. So first contact has been made. Looks like most of them are in the north. I anticipated a three-prong push. I figured they would push from the north and at least the center, possibly also the south, but that Batchak got scared off. So I was just warning the team to be ready for action just south of the more northern group. And they started to come along into the dip, which meant that my rear gunners here couldn't do anything. And as you can see there, their artillery could still do the work. All he had to do was get target spotted, and that was 2,000 damage in one hit. So can't argue with that. Sev pinging the targets he's trying to aim at, but in the same boat as the rest of us, or most of us here, we just couldn't get the shots out. Bleeding some health, Sev loads up, sees the target, fires, and sails right over the back of the tank. So no such luck there. So I was thinking at this point possibly of trying to push the guys from the south who weren't able to do anything in and just brawling these guys. But with the two Bat Chats on the right, I wasn't sure if that was going to be something that we could pull off. But waited and just looked to see what was going on. Damage being traded. We were kind of neck and neck in health at this point, and that was disappointing, considering we started with more. And then Sev did that. Hit 3 of them, 1 penetration, 2 splash. I actually hadn't realized how much damage he had done. And if I had known, I would have called that push immediately afterwards. But it's pretty soon afterwards. So we go. Myself, outfielder on my right, Seor on the right, you can see pushing as well. I believe the autoloader was with me. And it's all about to happen. So they don't know we're coming just yet. We haven't been spotted. We are spotted now. And in we go. Sev manages to get another shot loaded up. And, oh, perfect shot. I get another into him. And that's one finished. And it just turns into an absolute melee here. And there's just no way to tell what the hell is happening and any advantages that you have. You just get in and do as much damage as you possibly can and hope for the best. Fluff a shot there. PM gets himself cut off and would have been better coming back towards us, but in the heat of the moment, that was very difficult. I didn't realize I was pretty much alone at this point, apart from a couple of people up on top. I thought there was a wall of people behind me, but I only found out afterwards that there really was not. So, good hit in there. It's 3 against 1 here, so I'm in a little bit of trouble. But I am spotting these people, and Sev puts that to good use. Sees that tank is busy, hits him once. And Bohica goes in. I'm looking for kill shots on the object on his right, but he's aiming at the wrong target. And unfortunately, that's going to end up costing him. His life artillery finishes him off. But so does ours with the tank in front of me. Myself and Ground are pushing on these last 2 medium tanks. Gun carriage has fired, so we got a little bit of time to try to work this out. I'm tracked and I miss. And we are back to square one. Still neck and neck, but even that at this point I was feeling was a bit of an achievement. Push on, Ground in support, get one into him. He comes for me and fabulous. And then Ground double taps him off. Push on, get tracked. My shot doesn't penetrate. God damn it. What are the odds? Ground doesn't penetrate. Ground takes a hit. Oh, this is risky. Okay, I'm back up. 1 in and Ground supporting there as well. Sev still doing his work, aiming now on a tank which has disappeared. And I'm trying to get away from the gun carriage. Doesn't work. Take a splash hit. But Sev manages to finish off the medium tank above me. So my commander is out. But with nobody to shoot at me, that's not such a big deal being tracked. And I still have a med kit to bring my commander back into play. Evil pushes up at full health on this bat chat. There are 2 bat chats left. So we're just going to hunt them down. I really want to make sure we can hit them separately. I don't know where the other guy has gone. I, of course, would be just easy pickings for a bat chat at this point. But Evil's on full health, and he does not flinch. He just drives straight into the face of this guy. And, of course, I mean, if he sort of gets flanked, I'm there in support as well. But, you know, I really can't take any hits at this point. But Evil takes no prisoners and shotguns that guy in the face. Long reload on his tank. I get behind the rock just in case the gun carriage is reloaded. I'm not sure on the reload offhand of the gun carriage. So it's 4 on 2. I was feeling absolutely ecstatic at this point, and I thought, this is just wow. I mean, we've done it. How did we manage to pull this off? And so last bat chat spotted. Ground and himself start to trade shots. It's neck and neck. Who's going to do it? Oh, Ground's gone. I've got him. No, I don't. Oh, terrible mistake made. I left my hull side on. Really bad mistake there at the end. And but Evil manages to do the work that needs to be done. So we've got 2 on 1. I called up the artillery and asked him to go up and spot the arty so that the TD would be able to finish him off. But really quite angry with myself. Evil takes another hit, lucky to not take more damage than that, but it is a splash hit. And here it is from the artillery perspective. Sev, man of the match without a doubt, pushing up. All he has to do is spot the guy, and Evil should be able to take him out. But he's a skilled player. You know, there's no telling where he might be and what he might do. And with these kind of games against these kind of teams, there's no walkover for a clan like ours. I mean, you're playing against extraordinarily skilled players. You're fighting right up until that last shot. So I told Steph to wait for Evil to be in a position to fire, and we're finally in a position to take a pop. Evil heads up. There he is. Artie on Artie, just like six shooters in the Wild West. He misses. Oh, god damn. Oh, very dangerous. Oh, thank God. And Evil manages to save the day. Absolutely delighted with that. Sev, you are my hero. A fantastic game. Thank you so much for that. More of the same coming in the future, let's hope. So there you have it. What can I say? All we were just exhausted afterwards. I literally was incapable of running any more games after this. I was just so worn out after this fight. We enjoyed it immensely. Stars Clan, thank you so much. We learned just so much from you in the two games that we fought, and I hope we were able to surprise you a little bit in the second game. You were just a pleasure to play against, and we enjoyed this victory more than we have in scrims in absolutely weeks. So thank you so much. I hope to see you guys again on the battlefield. In the meantime, if you have any replays, guys, please send them to me at the address below in the description. And as ever, stay safe out there in the battlefield, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.